So yeah, so this will be my week 4 red, white, and blue. I plan on doing a red, a white, and a blue and tying it in all together. But like I said, it's not going to look exactly like this. I am using this as my, my inspiration. And so that's what we're going to work on first will be different techniques that you can use. And I'm just using a piece of white marshmallow basil, which I am going to slap some gesso on because I plan on making this nice and wet. And if you're using any type of mixed media, if you're planning on using a lot of liquid, you definitely need to prime your page. And gesso, there's different kinds. There's white, there's clear, there's black gesso if you're using black paper. So you have different options, but you definitely do want to make sure that your paper is nice and primed, because if not, your colors it'll go right through the paper. You can't blend, you can't smush it around. You'll be very limited, and unless you're looking for that look, you probably won't be happy with the final outcome. And I went a little too heavy. And you don't have to go, I'm very heavy-handed, so I always have an issue. I have a heavy foot. I have kind of a heavy tongue because I don't have a problem telling people what I'm thinking. So, yeah. And I have a heavy hand with gesso because that is a whole lot of gesso. Hey, Tisa. Hi, Eve. Welcome. We're just getting started. And I was just telling everyone that this is a 4-part layout, which each week I will be creating something in the challenge colors, and in the last week it will be all incorporated into my layout. So yeah, that was a mess. So anyway, I use a baby wipe. This is just an old Hobby Lobby gift card. I like spreading it with this because it makes it easier to spread. I'm a little out of sorts today. We've been having family parties every weekend. And so my house is a mess. My room's a mess because this turns into the dump room. And so I had to run down here this morning and kind of spruce it up a little just so I could find my desk. So, how are you all doing? Everyone's enjoying this. I mean, I don't know where you guys are, but in Jersey it has been beautiful, hot, a little rainy, but not too bad. So I have my little scrapbookstore.com. You can see right here, if you haven't ever seen their shop, you can check them out on Facebook. You can check them out directly to their website. Michelle's awesome. If you need anything that you don't see on her website, send her a message. She is awesome. Carrie, you have a heavy foot too? Yeah, it happens to the best of us. What are you going to do? You know, like, it is what it is. So I have my gesso, and I have my marshmallow white, and this is a basil or whatever. And so this one is going to be mostly a red a red paper, or red, not paper, red. So I have some different things that I want to try out. This is ancient. I've had this probably for about 10 years. And I don't know if Michelle can find it anymore. I don't even know if it still exists. It's by the Crafter's Workshop. What I love about it is that you have all kinds of little textures, and it's not a big, it's a 6x6, but you have stuff that you can work on smaller stuff. And as you can see in my inspiration layout for week 4, I need to make tags or something that are going to be on the smaller scale, because obviously if I use something large like this, you might only see 3 lines of that. Whereas if I use something like this, you might have a better, let's see if I could show this better. You may have better texture, and you'll be able to see it better on a small scale. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to be using this. I am just going to do different types of textures, different type of things on here. And it's not going to look pretty because, like I said, this is all going to be cut up and it's going to be used on something else later on. But I wanted you to have an idea of different things that you can do that look cool. And, yeah, you just play. So this here, and I hope, let me open it up and look at it first. This is Golden's Gel Medium, and it's a glass bead gel. So I've had this for a couple years, and basically it's a gel, and it has glass beads in it. And right now, when it dries, it will be clear because the gel will dry to clear, and then you'll have that glass texture, and it looks beautiful. So I thought I would try that with some different kinds of medium to give it the color that I want. I'm going to try this Distress Oxide Fire Brick. Okay, and we're going to see what happens. I haven't tried it. This is I may have to add other stuff to it to give it the right color, but no biggie. So if you look at it, it doesn't look like much. It's just looks kind of like gel, but you can kind of see that it's very beady. And I'm just going to add that on here. It almost reminds me of like farina. If you've ever had farina as a child or because you were sick or whatever, it's very textury. So we're going to add a couple drops, and I can see already that this color is not going to work because it looks like brown. Not looking red at all. So I do have some other things that I'm willing to try out. And this is a paint that I don't know how I got. It's like a sample from Sea Paints. And they're just paint. I don't think there's anything special about them. They do dry very quickly. So I probably should have used something a little thick, but it is what it is. So are you guys working? Are you home? Who's doing what? Anyone still hanging out at home? It's kind of getting there. It's not horrific. So I'm just going to mix it until I get the right red. And actually, I have a couple other stuff. I have some gelatos, and these are Faber-Castell, and I'm pretty sure that Michelle, I think I've seen them at her, at the Crops, if I'm not mistaken, and basically it's like a crayon, and yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Not working. Oh, Eve. Nice. Tisa, don't get caught. Or, oh, you're working from home. Ah, who's going to tell on you, right? Or are you back at work? Oh, cool, Joe. You're making sewing placemats. With all this COVID stuff, I started sewing actually not on paper and on fabric, and it has been quite the experience because I don't do very well with straight lines, and sewing, me and sewing just, I don't know, we don't, it came out good. I made about 100 masks for my family and close friends. All right, now we're getting better. All right, this is a Distress Paint in Candied Apple, and I think these have been discontinued. I think Tisa was talking about them a few weeks ago. But I don't know why. They work pretty well. So that's actually a nicer red. So I'm going to grab that. And I think I'm going to use this little circle thingy. And I'm just going to run this through my, and I didn't make too much because we don't really need too much. And the thicker you go, again, because I'm heavy-handed, I'm going to try this again so that it doesn't, it's kind of hard because of the grit and the holes are really small, but I just want to show you how cool that is once it dries. All right, so we got a couple different things with this glass bead, and you know, I'm rediscovering my stash. I really was doing a lot of mixed media and shabby chic stuff, and I don't know, like my style has changed to more simple, more just paper. Still do stuff that's a little popped off the page, but not as much as I used to. I mean, my pages, I would fit like 5 pages in an album because they were so thick. It was pretty bad. So the next thing I'm going to try, so we have that drying, is I'm going to use a heart one, and this one's from Paige Evans. I'm not sure which one of her releases this is from. And I think I'm going to try some Festive Berries. And I'm going to use the brushes that are in Michelle's shop. Right here. One of these. I don't know. I think these are by like something Fences or... And basically you're just going to rub on the color. And hopefully I got enough. And this is just a regular distressing. So I'm going to use a little bit of distressings, a little bit of oxides, a little bit of everything. And I'm just going to throw that in there. Give myself a nice big spot so that eventually when I'm ready, I'll cut out my tags or squares or whatever it is I'm going to end up doing. And that came out super cute. Picket Fence Studios. Yeah, these are awesome little brushes. I had never used them before. I mean, I had bought a set of knockoff ones from Amazon. These are definitely much better quality. If you have never used them, check out Michelle's shop. Which stencil, Pam? This one? If it's this stencil, this one is... I just had the paper. Where did it go? Oh, right here. It is by the Crafter's Workshop. And I'm not sure if it's something that Michelle can find or if she's had. I don't even know where I bought this. I've had it for... it says here that this came out in, I think, 2012. Yes. March. Her first book was released in March of 2012. So I'm assuming around that time is when this was released. And it's a really cute, it's a really cool stencil. She does, this particular person, I don't even know who she is, but has a couple different ones that are kind of like this, that have multiple, I should clean these. That have different like textures. So now we did the Festive Berries with the hearts, and now we're going to try, I'm not even going to clean this. I have this other ink, and it's by, and I went through my stash and I looked for anything that I had that was red. I have some Shimmers Paints colorings, my Bleeding Heart. I don't even know if it's still available. Okay, Eve, have a good day. And I'm just going to shake it up, and hopefully it's going to spray where it needs to spray. We're going to find out in a minute. Huh? It worked. And again, Probably a little heavy-handed. So we're gonna, yeah. See, that doesn't look good. But doesn't mean it can't be covered up by something else. So the good thing about using the gesso is that if I would have done this without gesso, the paper would have totally soaked it in and it would have been a red big blob. Where with the gesso, it kind of sits up. I probably can, for the most part, wipe it off, right? If I really wanted to, I could just gesso over this again. But you know what? Sometimes mistakes are meant to happen, and I'm okay with that because it still has texture. Let me bring it closer. There's still texture. You still see some hearts, and we'll try something different on top of that. So I'm going to try this gelato. And what I'm going to do is, so gelatos, this is by Faber-Castell. Gelatos tend to activate with water, right? I hope you can see that. They activate with water, but when they dry permanent, I think. So this may be a little too watery, which is okay. You can also take your crayon directly on here and use your finger to rub it in, and you will still get these really cool hearts. And let's see what happened. Yeah, you see, when it's too watery, especially that it's such a small, small little intricate stencil, it doesn't work well, but you see the difference. That actually looks great, and I really like how it came out directly on, and even with the background being the color that it is, I actually really like that. So I am going to kind of match up my hearts, add a little more, and I'm just going to use my finger to push the color into it so that it will create, and this kind of works like a lipstick, so you just have to keep pushing some down. Okay, so we have a little spot there, and that actually looks really cute. I'll add a little more. Just to make it a little bigger, and I do like how that is turning out. And again, I don't know if they're going to be hearts at the end, or if it's going to be tags. It is what it is. So that was a Paige Evans one. Okay, Michelle, go get them deliveries. We love deliveries. Like, personally, oh, I have been shopping everywhere, but not really shopping. You know, when you put stuff in your cart and then you just close the page. That's what I've been doing just to get my, you know, my shopping therapy, because personally I can't afford to go shopping right now. My job was eliminated during COVID, and when well, it wasn't eliminated. They closed, and when they did open back up, they offered me to go back part-time, and part-time was not going to work for me. So, all right. So we have a few different little areas that I've done. I'm thinking I'm going to try some stamping. And I have some really cool textures and shapes in this stamp. This is a stamp set that I've had for many years. Stamps of Life, and it's called All for Stars, and it has a bunch of stars, and You're a Rock Star, and it's it probably doesn't even exist anymore. I don't even know if the company exists. It's been, I've had it when there was a time when I used to love buying stamps, yet I wasn't a stamper. I just loved having them. You know, I don't know. They were just like, oh, I'll use them for this. And although this one I have used because, you know, stars are very easy to use. So I'm going to see if I have something in red. I have fire brick. Let's give it a different little red. And this is a distress oxide. And I know Michelle has distress oxides in the shop. I don't know if she has every color, but you can definitely, you know, contact her if you're looking for something like that. And I'm just going to stamp this down. Ooh, Nouveau. Love me some Nouveaux. And we're just going to stamp some of these around the page. And you're saying, what is this mess? See, this mess will turn into something totally beautiful in a couple weeks. I'm going to have this little star, and I should be cleaning my stuff, right? I am horrible stamp owner / everything else owner, because I tend to not clean anything, and I've been yelled at a few times, but sometimes habits are hard to break. Now I'm going to use Festive Berries just to give myself a little. Okay, that's good to know, Michelle, because I do need more colors. I suffer from this condition that's called FOMO. I'm sure some of you might understand that. Fear of missing out. And I have to have complete collections of everything. I may never use half of it, but I started getting all of the distress things, the regular ones before the oxides came out. And then they pulled out started with the oxides. So I never finished getting all the colors. So we're going to let this all dry, and then we'll come back to it, check it out, see if we need to add anything else to it. And I might even use some of this today for my layout today. So for the layout today, so we're letting this dry, and we'll see where that goes. So my layout today, I am scrapbooking in the red challenge, these 4 pictures. And this is, my son was in the military, and at one point he was he was deployed to the Middle East, and he was injured. And it took weeks for him to be brought back to the United States. And this was actually taken in Germany. He was at I'm not even sure what military hospital. There's apparently a humongous military hospital. I know there's a few that have been, you know, deployed overseas or whatnot, but he still talks to him, you know, via internet. So these were taken in Saarbrücken. And these guys were all different branches. These guys, I believe, were Air Force. He's a Marine or Navy. Like, they were all different branches, and they all were taken to, I think it was Kabul first, and then they were moved to Germany to the hospital. But they were given 1 day to just kind of roam around. So my son wasn't even 21 here, and obviously he's got a beer in his hand. And but he loved Germany, and unfortunately his career is over in the military, but that was one of his wishes was to be stationed out in Germany. Hey Jessica. So this is my layout inspiration today that I'll be doing, and you know, it only has 2 pictures. I'll be using 4, but it'll have a lot of these different features on it. I will be using stars, different size stars, and I plan on doing some of the stripes. I'm trying to stick to red and white or red and cream. So I have gone through my stash. There's really not a lot of red stuff that's not like patriotic or military or not, or whatnot. But I did find some stuff that I was willing to use. So I have my white. I'm going to use white cardstock as my background. I found this really old collection of Authentique Smitten. It says Smitten written two-sided paper, but we'll be using this side maybe. I also have this. It looks checkered and it has little hearts, and it's also by Authentique, and it's called Promise. This has been in my stash for probably since the first day I started scrapbooking. Actually, I have two of them. And it just says, I love you, I love you, I love you. This one is Chamel, Go Now Go. This one, and I might not use all of these, but I figured I'd pull them anyway. Hot Cocoa it's a paper pad from American Crafts. I have this, God knows what, red and white stars. And I think this is from not even sure, but it's like red monochromatic. And then there's this piece of scrap that I had in my stash. And then I have this Photo Play Live Free. And on the back, it's actually a patriotic paper. But, you know, it has red, it has, I don't know if I'll be using any of this side, but I'll definitely try to incorporate this in there. So, hopefully I haven't been rambling for too long. My husband always says you love hearing yourself talk, but whatever. I guess I do. Okay, so I just somehow, before I get red everywhere, because I have red on my hands. Oh, I can get this baby wipe out. I just noticed that I have red stuff everywhere. I want to make sure I don't, transfer it everywhere. There's even paint on here. So if you didn't catch me from the beginning, I have a YouTube channel. If you're not, thanks, Michelle. I have a YouTube channel which I'm trying to grow so that I can eventually do Facebook Lives. And, but you know, that takes a while. And I, unfortunately, started being very consistent, and then we bought a house, we moved, COVID. So many things happened in the last 6 months that I kind of have been inconsistent. So I'm working my way at being consistent again. So if you haven't joined my group, you know, I'd love for you to, not group, I'm sorry. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. The link is right there on your right. And I think Michelle will probably throw it in there. Michelle, thank you again for allowing me the opportunity to join your lives for this month. This is my second one, so, you know, I was sweating it this morning, I'm not gonna lie. And, you know, and when things happen, you know how it is, like, I don't know, something must be leaking in my, what's it called? My sprinklers, and it was going into my sump pump, and I was like, uh-oh. All right, so this picture was actually taken this way, but I'm going to try to, like, work it that way, because, I don't know, it looks kind of weird. I may even leave it out, because maybe we'll do something, I don't know. Maybe they're a little bigger than I wanted. See, that's how sometimes things tend to change. But I do want to kind of, like, everyone's kind of facing straight, so I'm okay with that being on this side. I wouldn't want to put this on this side because I feel like although they're facing up, but I think having the the places here and the people here, it kind of like makes it a little bit easier on the eye. So in this picture, there's these bunch of stripes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, thanks guys, I'm going to cut different strips at about, I'm going to go with 1 inch. And they're 1 inch by 8 inches for now. I might cut them a little shorter, but I feel like I need the length just so that it works. So I'm going to cut a couple strips of the 1 inch strips. And that way it's not too many things going on. So I'm thinking the stars because, you know, they're military. So I'm going to go 8 inches. I have no idea what kind of title or, so if you have any ideas, throw them up there because no clue. I don't know, I might not use the heart papers because, you know, I don't know if they fit in with the pictures, but I kid you not, until a half hour before this started, I had no clue what I was doing. So let's see where we are if we need more. I knew what I wanted, like what I wanted to use as inspiration. I just didn't have a clue of what paper or what. All right, that's kind of like, now I wanted to throw in a little bit of, wanted to throw in some cream, but I don't really see cream, but I think I want to throw in this star paper. Yeah. So, anyone got any plans for the summer? Anyone going anywhere? I was supposed to be in Florida next week, but guess who's not going to Florida next week? There is absolutely no way that I, one, will get on a plane right now. And my brother lives in Broward County. He lives in a city called Plantation. And there's absolutely no way that I am going down there. So yeah, that's, thanks Carrie. I really liked it too. I felt like it wasn't too like patriotic-y or too, you know, yeah, sounds like a staycation is the best bet right about now. Going nowhere, supposed to go watch my daughter dance in Arkansas end of July, but Arkansas is no oh, is now on, yeah. Well, just, you know, with Connecticut, Jersey, New York, like, I don't, like, I mean, it's not like I have a job to go to, but if I did have a job, you know, if you go to any of these states, you have to quarantine for two weeks. Oh, Eve, really cool. My brother lives over by some very prestigious, I think it's a high school. I'm not sure. It's like a very expensive, very, 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 very expensive school. I don't remember what it's called, but he lives like a block away from there. He just moved there early this year. Yeah, he lived in Fort Lauderdale before that, so he, you know, he's when he turned 18, he was like, I'm out of here. He moved to Florida and he never came back. He did not like the cold as a child. All right, so this is what I think I'm going to do. You see how they have it pretty boxy? I think I'm going to, you know, scatter it around. I don't want to have the straight. Yeah, Carrie, definitely. Eve, I think it might be American Heritage. All I know, it's like he was looking into for my nephew to go to school there, and it was like 30,000 a year. He was like, "What? Like for high school?" I'll have to find out and ask him what it's called, but it's a nice little. I think he lives in what they call plantation estates. So yeah, so I am going to ink my edges because I don't know. I have this thing with inking edges, and I'm using my favorite, which is hickory smoke. I'm just gonna lightly, oh, if I can hold on to it. I might even pull out the sewing machine, and I probably won't do that on air, but I may just stitch across these papers to give it a little texture. I don't know. I'm feeling a little creative today. Yeah, so Eve, that is definitely probably it. But I mean, it's beautiful down there. And I last year I was down there like 5 times. I was supposed to go down next week. He was going to, he cares for one of our aunts, and he was going to Hawaii on vacation. And obviously my sister-in-law's a nurse. So, you know, with everything going on, I'm not sure if it was just COVID related or if it was also work related, but they canceled their trip. They rescheduled their trip. I was going down to stay with my aunt, but that all. And then since they still had canceled, I was like, well, I'll go down anyway, you know, and see the kids and hang out with my brother. Me and him have a really good relationship. And, but my son was like, you are not going down there. I'm like, okay, if you say so. Oh, Eve, you live in North Carolina. My friend T, Tantalea, she lives in North Carolina, and she's my scrappy bestie. And believe it or not, we scrapbook almost every day via Google Hangouts, Skype, whatever we can get logged on to. And she comes up here to Jersey every so often to the Cropper's Delight crops. And we have a great old time. So I'm kind of making these a little wonky. I'm not going to make them like perfectly straight. Only because, you know, why bother? Anybody else live out of the New Jersey, New York tri-state area? Where in the world are you? Oh. Oh boy. As usual, it never fails. If I am doing a live, or this is my second one, so how is it that the first live I also ran out of adhesive, and now I ran out of adhesive again? So I'm going to go back to my Funky Tape by Tonic, which I got from Michelle, and I do absolutely love it. So she actually saved my life at the MFT crop, because I know I mentioned this at the last live, but we were in the process of moving, and I had already, for months, had made my bag for this crop because I had paid for it months ago, not realizing that we were buying a house when I packed, you know, when I signed up for that crop. Well, I packed everything except my adhesive, and I got to the crop with no adhesive. None. Not even a drop. And it is excellent. It's great. I love it. I also have the Scotch, but I feel like when I'm doing videos and stuff, it covers up too much. So I just use that when I'm like scrapbooking at home alone. I feel like for teaching purposes, it's so much easier. I'm not covering up my whole page with a big clunky picture. I mean, not picture. You know what I mean. All right, so we're here so far. I think I'm going to map my pictures with just plain old white cardstock, which I know I have some somewhere. Oh, and by the way, my dogs are sleeping under my desk, so if by any chance they go ballistic, I apologize in advance. Okay, so this is just regular white Nina cardstock. It's probably like 80 pound. I don't really go too ballistic when for matting purposes. I do like the sturdier paper for my background, and this is a marshmallow. And since I don't know what I'm doing as far as background, if I'm going to add any splatters or anything, I figured I'd go with the heavier cardstock. Okay. And I think I just switched my papers around, my pictures around, but that's all right. So I'm just going to give this a small mat of probably, I'd say eyeballing it like 1/8 of an inch of a frame around my picture. And normally I just wing it and cut it by hand, but I actually know where my paper cutter is, and I still might do it. All right. Anyone doing anything for the 4th? What are you guys doing in your neck of the woods? Jess, so both of you, Jess and Carrie, are both in Connecticut. Very cool. Not far. I think I'm probably about, I don't know, an hour and a half from the Connecticut, New Jersey, New York border, like up there. Actually, I guess that's not a border. I would have to go into New York, right, to go into Connecticut. I'm in Jersey. I'm in a town called Keyport. We are Central Jersey. I guess that's what is considered. But I'm on the East Coast, so I'm right off the bay. And I guess that's where that's where like down the shore starts. It's past the Driscoll Bridge, and yeah, so that's where I live. If you're ever going down the shore, hit me up. I'm always down for the beach. All right, so I'm going to start my stars. So I have a few things that I plan on using. Let's see what I have. I have some stars that I may fussy cut. All right, because I may be able to get away with stamping on the white, but I don't think I'll be able to get a clear stamp on here. I have some I am down to shore. Yeah, Jess, it's hard to, like, I don't know why I never, like, plan ahead and have it ahead, and I'm sure this one's pretty full, so I should be okay with this one. All right, so I'm a Kiwi Lane, whatever they're called now. I'm not even, I like their products, so I don't push it. I'm not a salesperson. I am, I like using them because they're easy to grab. I can do this in my backyard if I want. Oh, cool, Jessica. I can see Staten Island and the lower tip of Manhattan, like the Freedom Tower and that part from our, probably half a mile from my house is the waterfront. So I'm going to use these. This is from Kiwi Lane's Adventure 2 and Adventure 1, and then this is from Freedom 1. I figured a smaller little. And I'm just going to cut them out of some of these other papers. that I didn't use. And then I'm going to just stamp some stars. Oh, I think I've been to Danbury. Very cool. So I think I'm going to use some of these. I also have the stamps that you saw me use earlier. So I think I'll probably stamp a couple red stamps to just keep going up my page. And then I will probably use this larger one for here. Oh, actually, that's too big. Probably that one right there. And that's about it. I think that's what we're going to go with. So let me see what I find. I have a stash. I have another stash of red scraps. So we'll see what we can use out of my red. And I keep my scraps in a drawer. They never get used. But I keep them in these like these page protectors because it's just easier to grab. And I have like all the main colors in there. So I think I can do that. I can do the wood. Oh, it's not really red. What else we got? Oh, I could probably punch some out of that. And I have some cards. Okay, I have a lot of cardstock in red. Oh, I like this textured one. That's pretty cool. So we'll use that. And I like this one. Oh, this one's double-sided. Oh, we'll use a little square of that. And we'll continue to wing it. I'm really good at that's why I said I may be using some of these for here as well. You know, we'll see what happens because I don't have a lot of red. Unless it's like Christmas paper. So I really do like the hearts, but I don't know if I want to add another whatchamacallit. So I think I'm going to cut the wood grain because it's kind of manly. Oh, and I also have these dies that go with the diamond press. So I have options. So for the Kiwi Lane, you just grab a pen or a pencil or wing it. And I'm going to cut it from the back. And I'm just using this. Oh, I shouldn't even be using this. This is a Erin Condren marker. Oof. But anyway, it was there, easy to grab. Okay, so I'm going to cut 2 of these out in this wood grain because it's a nice pattern. I want to just read what everyone said. Our neighbors have a family place in Westbrook, so we are normally down by you all. Oh, cool. You guys are near each other. That's pretty cool. I don't have any, like friends near me that scrapbook. None. My friends all think I'm just a little on the crazy side that I spend my money on this, hobby. But you know what? It makes me happy. Jessica, you've never heard of Kiwi Lane. Well, they are a direct, whatever, I don't know, direct sales type of company, like close to my heart. And they do these templates. And I've been a demonstrator, instructor. They just redid their company, and so now they're something else, partner or something. No idea. I just stayed on as a partner-ish. I think that's the right word. Because I do like buying their stuff, although they've been changing their company and they're not doing as many template releases. But, when I started Kiwi Lane, my son was still in the military. And we would go out to Kansas, that's where he was stationed, and it would give me something to do in that very long 22-hour car ride. So that's how I started using Kiwi Lane. For the purpose of maybe scrapbooking in the car. But who knew that as soon as I started using the Kiwi Lane stuff that he would, be on the process of, getting ill, and started they processed him out. But for those that are, wondering, he is home and he's moved on, and I'm very proud of him. He was very upset at first for having to, he liked the military. He's a very structured young man, and he liked that structure. And, he will be treated for his injuries for the rest of his life, and it has had to make him change, 22 years old. Since he's 22 years old, he wanted to be a cop, but that'll never happen. So he had to figure out something else, and he's going to electrician school starting in July, late July. He's okay. I mean, it stinks because, at 22 years old, the last thing you want to hear is that for the rest of your life you have to worry about blood clots. He developed blood clots while he was deployed, and at 19 years old, being told that for the rest of your life you're going to have to take blood thinners, and obviously that alone changes any plans that if you wanted to be a cop, you really can't be on blood thinners going in. Very dangerous. So, but he's okay. He's doing well. Right now he works for NJIT, the New Jersey Institute of Technology down in Newark, which is one hell of a trip, but he does it and doesn't complain. And he does public safety dispatching for them. Alright, I'm just looking for a couple star punches because I'm kind of lazy too, so I don't want to be cutting these out all by hand. And of course, this one will not work because it's too thick. Alrighty then. So we're going to go back to using some dies. Oh, sorry if I'm in your grill. A little close there. Oh, this will work. So this is a little diamond press. I have a Big Shot. I had a Cuddle Bug. My Cuddle Bug broke. I had my Cuddle Bug from day one. And oh my gosh. I have the Big Shot, and that thing, no, Big Kick, I'm sorry, Big Kick is huge, and it'd take up my whole desk. So it's so much easier to pull one of these out. So that's why I purchased this thing, because it's a lot easier to, what the heck is the thing? Oh boy. Oh, sorry. Here it is. So basically it works the same as any other die cutting machine. But it's tiny, and I love it because I can take it with me. I can, I can go to a crop. The only thing is, obviously you're limited to very small dies, but it works. So we're getting some dies. I think I'm going to cut another one of this one. This paper is really cool. I don't know. Obviously, I have a little chunk of it. It's very textured. Let me see if I can bring it a little closer. I don't know where I got it. God knows how long I've had it. I don't know if you can see it's like very grainy. You can even hear that with my nails, but it's really cool. Yeah, Carrie, I have these little like IKEA shelves on my wall in front of me, and that's where I keep it. So, because I'm one of those anal retentive people that I can't have too much stuff on my desk because then I can't scrapbook because it bogs me down. And right now, my room looks like I don't know, like a disaster. Like, it literally is a disaster. So this works good. It's right there. I can just grab it. So, okay, maybe I will use this cute little heart paper. I mean, the colors work. Whatever. Here's the thing. Scrapbooking, there's no right and wrong or wrong. You do what you know makes you happy, and my supplies are limited in the Red family, so we will make it work. All right. Yeah, that was my my idea, Carrie, because oh, these are still wet. Okay. I mean, I got everything. I got a silhouette. I got multiple crickets. I have a ton of stuff. But if it's not in front of me, it's not getting used. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. I am one of those people who have to have things nearby because I'm lazy. And if I have to get up in the middle of a project to get something, like, there went my mojo. Like, I'm like, it's gone, out the window. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to think about it. All right, we're just going to use some of these. So I'm going to use these red heart little distressed pieces that we made, or that I made. You guys watched. And I think they will work perfectly because it definitely has those color families. And I could probably get another heart from here. I mean, star. Well, Jessica, I have probably over 100 embossing folders, and I could tell you I probably used maybe 20 of them. My cuddle bug was very loved. I used it a lot, and the pressure thing, when you would spin it, the pressure it died. Now, I had it probably from when they came out, so I was really, really sad when it broke, and the only way you could find it is if someone was selling it. And, you know, I'm not very patient, so I'm not waiting around for someone to sell something. I had to figure it out, you know, buy something else, and I ended up buying the big kick. But that thing is massive. It's so big. So I only use that, like, if I'm, you know, obviously if it's something bigger than, you know, this little 2-inch square. I have half an hour to finish my layout. Oh, my star broke. I will have to tuck it in somewhere. All right, there's not a lot of contrast because obviously I'm doing a lot of red on top of this. But, let's see. What else can we add in here? I wanted to kind of stay into that. I really love this paper. It's so pretty. I want to really stay as close to being red and monochromatic red as possible. So, you know, and just having the white as my secondary. So I'm using this Freedom 1 because it's a small little star. And I'll just cut 2 of these out, maybe 3. And I'm a horrible tracer. I hope you could see that. Ooh. All right. I'm not sure what I will do when the cuddle box stops working. I can't use the Big Shot, no room. Yeah, I know that there's other, and I know Michelle has, I think, the Gemini. But I think the Gemini only works with electricity. The star dies came in a little package thing with the I forgot what this is called now. Oh geez. With the diamond press. It's by the Diamond Press company. It was, I bought it out, I think it was HSN or QVC. I'm pretty sure it was HSN. And it came with all of these dies, and it came with stamps that you can actually, like there's sentiments that will fit in some of these things. But I have been looking at the Gemini, and I know Michelle has them. Only because when it's bigger things, I have a shoulder issue, and oh, I would love to just press a button and let it just go through instead of having to crank it. You know, especially if you're cranking something out, you know, 5 or 6 times. By the time I do it the 5th time, my arm's killing me. So yeah, so, and I also like to fussy cut, so for me it's not an issue to, you know, to trace a couple things. And I mean, I have to be in the mood, and today I'm, like I said, I'm in a good mood today. It's summer, as you, I don't know if you can tell, but I've gotten lots of vitamin D, and you know, obviously vitamin D helps with mood and depression and all that stuff. And it definitely helps. If you're in a good mood, you'll be more creative. So yeah. All right, I think there was one more. So I hope that I'm inspiring you guys. I mean, I'm not really good at planning. I have to tell you that I am one of those fly by the seat of your pants scrapper. I don't scrapbook chronologically. I don't scrapbook in any particular order. I am never going to be caught up because I'm so far behind. I like to scrapbook whatever is calling my name at that particular moment. No rhyme or reason. It just, I have to be feeling it. Yeah, T, I agree. You have to be making room, and that, you know, for some people it just doesn't work. And that, I kind of feel like I would be that people, because if I have to make room, it's not getting used. But I'm not going to say it's not on my wish list. Maybe for my birthday, I'll get it for myself. All right, I'm going to cut a couple big ones out of this paper just to add a little more, add another pattern to the mix. I'm not sure, Jessica. Michelle, do you have any info on the Gemini Junior? Is that the one that's like, that does the 4-inch, or is that the one that does 6-inch wide stuff? And do you carry it? I'm sure you could get it, but you know, if anyone like wants it like today. How many of you have silhouettes? Or crickets? What do you guys have as far as those type of machines? All right, so what I'm going to do before I start gluing anything down. Okay. All right, so Michelle, check on the Gemini Junior. I'm not 100% sure what the size is. To be honest, like, I have no clue. But I don't think it's like the 8-inch one. Jess, I also have a Cricut. I think I have the Explore Air as well. I'm not sure which Explore Air to be exact. But I went into the dark side, and I've been a Cricut owner from when I tell you I was watching their late night infomercials back in probably 2006-ish. And I bought my first one around that time. It was the little tiny Cricut. I think it was called a Create or something like that. It was the original Cricut. I've had the Expression. I've had the Air. And I have another one, which I honestly don't remember what it's even called because it really didn't stick around for too long. But I went to Silhouette, and here's the reason why. I wanted to be able to do whatever I wanted as far as designing. Oh, okay, so the platform size is 6-inch by 8.9. Oh, so that's actually a lot bigger than I thought. Thanks, T. So when Silhouette came out, when I decided I wanted a Silhouette, they had announced that the 4 was coming out. And so I held off and waited until it was out, until they got the bugs out of it, and then I ordered it. And I love it. I love that I can cut out whatever the heck I want. It doesn't have to be only Cricut. And like, it's just so much, I don't know. You have so many more options. And, you know, I'm not trying to talk smack about Cricut, but it's just a completely different, like, database or whatever it is. You know, like, they have so many more options as far as designers and, like, it's like endless the amount of stuff they have on there. So, but I have used Silhouette design store stuff on the Cricut. You just have to buy the SVG. And that's how I started. I started because I could never find what I wanted on the Cricut store. And so I decided to start going to the Silhouette store and just buying them and downloading them and uploading them. But that was like work. So that's why I switched over to Silhouette. But I don't use it as much as I should. But I do plan, in one of these lives, I do plan on creating an SVG. And if it's okay with Michelle, it'll be up, you know, I don't know, I guess I'll upload it in the group, you know, free, no charge. Just, it'll be my first one, so it may be a crappy one. I'm not going to promise you anything great because I've never created one. And it'll work into the red, white, and blue challenge. Jessica, it's actually not too complicated if you're the thing is that you're very limited to what you can do, so it seems like it's complicated. It's just that they don't have the capabilities. Like they just started letting you curve your fonts. They didn't let you do that. You know, you couldn't do it before. So to me, that was a deal breaker because I wanted, you know, I do cups, I do all kinds of stuff, and I couldn't. So yeah, I'm gonna put the star kind of like coming off the page. You know what? You know it's a star. Good enough. And I think it'll work like that. I think. All right. So I'm kind of a stickler for when I'm laying stuff down, placement. Like, I don't want to have like any trap space. Like that right there, that would bother me. So I will try to line things up so that there is no trapped anything. Like you see, like that kind of covers that line. There's no trapped colors here, and it'll work perfectly right there. They say I'm anal. I don't know. Same thing with my necks. Like, it's okay. I don't have a problem if they're like hanging out. It's just like that trapped little space. All right, Carrie, have a good day. Don't work too hard. I'll post the completed layout later on once I get pictures of it, okay? Have a good day. Thanks for joining me. And yeah. And it's all right. See, that doesn't bother me too much because I can always add something right there. And I think I'm going to pop some of them up. I think that'll make me happy. My motto is do what makes you happy. I have some little pop dots. Do what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, life's too short. And I think I'm going to stamp one of those there. All right, I am lacking in the stamp. Oh, this drawer stinks. Something must be open. In my colors, so I'm going to use the Stays On Blazing Red. And I would pull out my Huge Misty, but I am going to wing it. And T will tell you that I am a chicken shit when it comes to stamping, because I am a horrible, horrible stamper. Horrible. Oh. All right, there's some ink or something on here. Let me... yeah, I'm actually a little nervous about that. Stamping this without the Misty. But you know what? We're winging it. I am going to ink up my stamp really, really, really good. And what is it? Pray for the... I don't know. Whatever it is. Pray for the best. Hope for... No, you don't hope for the worst. Pray... Well, you know what I mean. Oh, that's not bad at all. Oh, I like that. Yes. Yay. That worked perfectly. I'm happy with that. Right now, if I wasn't live, I'd probably do a happy dance. Alright, I'm gonna cut my little dot in half. Alright. And so anyone think of a title for my layout? Because I still don't... maybe I'll just call it Germany. A day in Germany. I would actually spell out the whole town, but there's a lot of letters in that town. So, we ain't going there. Uh-oh, my son must be moving around, so my dogs are like, what's going on? Oh, what did I do with my... Oh, okay. So you guys got a 2-for-1 today. Is there anything else you guys would want to see done? I do plan on doing, and I mentioned this earlier in the beginning of my video, I am going to rearrange my room because you know when you like move into a new place, you kind of gotta like put things wherever you're gonna put them, live with it for a little while and see if it works. I finally realized that my space isn't working for me. So I plan on doing a full-on organizational video. like in real time. So make sure you, well, don't make sure, but if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be able to see when that airs. And oh, I feel like I need a bigger, yeah, I think I need to move this one. I think this one needs a bigger one here. Yeah, so I will be doing, I have a basement, and that's where my craft room is, but like I feel it's not functional. Anyone else feel like that? Your space isn't like working to its best of its abilities? A cart file? A cup file. Oh, the cup file? Yeah. I think I'm gonna work on creating one. It's particularly for the red, white, and blue. It might be a title. I don't know. Something that will work for this, and you know. Hey Patricia. Happy to see you're on. Hope you're feeling good. And we're going to pop this one up too. All right, so we're getting there. We're getting there. I don't have this. Oh, I do have that one. We'll put this one. All right, where's my little inspiration paper? All right, so maybe... it doesn't have to be exactly like it, so we'll see. Oh, you know what I just realized? I covered up this whole entire side, and you don't even see this. You don't see the papers on this side. It is what it is. Now, I think I'm going to do the same one, kind of behind this. Yeah, and I stuck them down, and I'm infamous for this, sticking stuff down and then taking it off. Let me get a scrap paper. And boom, that'll work. This can go right. I want to see a little bit of the star. I guess we're going to go like right there. So that means I have to take some adhesive off, or maybe use another. Yeah, I probably will, because I just stuck my finger in the adhesive. Huh. Story of my life, people. I am forever doing that. So we're getting close to being almost done. Because all I need is maybe another big star here. Maybe add a little confetti of little stars, and here's a medium-sized one. And of course, now I can't find my stamp thingamajiggy. And we have a little one here. You guys still awake? Uh-oh. See? That's what I mean about screwing it up. I think it's because of this. Let's see if that goes away. I can get a better image. Yeah, that's much better. All right, so we got a couple more stamps. I think I'm going to do another big red star down at the bottom. And I don't want to stamp on the red, so I'm going to use my scrap again, so that it looks like it's actually under, but it's not, because I don't want to pull all this stuff off. Oh, and that came out horrific. Oh boy. I'm so scared. It's a little better, but you know what? We can fix that because we can just add another star right on top of it. You like the stars, T? Yeah, I really like theme stuff. Like I love stars and I love, you know, all kinds of like hearts and like that's my jam. I really like doing that kind of stuff. This one's, that'll work maybe. I don't know. I was looking for something a little smaller. Maybe this one. Oh, good. This is actually perfect. And I think I'm going to use, well, I'm definitely going to use thickers for my title. So we'll see what the title is depending on how many letters I have. How's that? And I think the title is going to go along the top right here because I would like to do a little journaling down below. And I do have some red, oh, sorry. This is just a little bit of fun foam. It's a little thinner than the adhesive squares. So I do like using like the kids' fun foams. And that will, boom, cover that all up right there, my big boo-boo. And I have another little tiny stamp that I can use, and for a little confetti action. And I think one more here will probably, because I really don't want to cover up all the paper now. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm so upset about that. We might have to rip it all up and start all over again. Alright, and we'll do a little pop dot. And thanks, Michelle. This was fun. Definitely fun. Definitely different from... Oh, come on, kids. I don't want to run your ears over. All right, so we're going to grab... Just going to grab my... I have my... Oops. My alphas in one of them carts. So... have some red glitter. Yeah, always have to have red glitter. So we're going to do Germany. And I think it's going to go there. And these are thickers, and probably bought them from every time that I bump into Michelle at any one of the crops I go to that she's at. I always stock up. I've bought a lot of thickers and stickers. Those are my thing. I won't even show you because I'm pretty embarrassed at how many of each do you really need? I like them all. Ooh, I actually spaced this out pretty good. So going back to these pictures, in case you weren't here earlier, all these guys were being life flighted back to the United States. They were in Germany at the naval, I think it's a naval hospital or some military hospital out there. And they were given a pass on a Sunday to explore because they weren't like, you know, seriously like in a deathbed or anything like that. They could still move around. So they were able to go and check out Germany. I have some little red dots here that we can add. Let's see, right around there. They're not really red, but that'll work. They're like a form of red. So yeah, so he was in a couple places in Germany. He went to Kabul. Like, it took 2 weeks for him to get back to the United States, while he was injecting himself with blood thinners, all by himself, at 19 years old. So, for all you mamas out there, you can just imagine what my life was like for those few weeks when he was transitioning into different countries. I have some red stuff in a drawer. Not much red in here. Not feeling any of it. Let's see. Oh, here's some red stars. That'll work. Let's see what else we got. There's a little red heart there. I am sure there will be something that I can use in my Tim Holtz trusty little book. And maybe Chamel? I don't know. I'm just going through some of this stuff and winging it. I have a big container. Actually, this is like my loose stickers and sticker books, and maybe there's something in here. This is a box of crayons. So she had a lot of like primary colors, so we'll pull that out too. That might work. Thing or two from there, and we'll pull all this stuff out right here. All right. Just add a little bit of something to all this to kind of spruce it up. Doesn't have to have a lot. There's a lot going on already. So I'm okay with that. I don't even know what half the stuff is. I just pulled stuff out. Oh, I like this. This is what we do. I guess this is what they did. And I think I'm going to put it right here. And this is a clear sticker. Probably, I think this is from, I know I got this from Michelle at one of the crops. The sticker book thingy, I'm pretty sure. And Let Life Surprise You would probably work perfectly because he was pretty surprised at everything that was going on. I know it's supposed to be red, but I think my monochromatic, I'm going to add one color to it, which will be the black. I think I like that. See, I would have used that, but it has too much it has too many colors, so we're going to throw that in there. And so I'm going to just throw in a pop of black. He wasn't really happy, but you know. We can definitely fake it for the camera. And I believe these are also maybe making memories or something. I'm pretty sure these were from Michelle's shop too. I have absolutely no self-control at crops. Like, I have to go there with no credit cards and like just cash. So that when I run out of money, that's it. I can't buy nothing else because I will keep buying and buying. I think at the last crop I was at, Michelle wasn't there. It was right before the whole COVID thing happened. And, oh, it was rough because I was so used to like shopping. And I don't think there's anything really calling my name here, so I don't think I'm going to use any of that. I don't think there's anything red here that I want to use. You're super? Nah. Yeah, I think we're getting close to calling it a day, but I'm going to see if there's anything I can use from in here. Be authentic, I like that. And I just may just pop these in on my stars. Embrace the journey. I know I told him that multiple times. I think I'm going to cut the embrace the journey down a little bit. And I'm sorry that I'm over my allotted time, but we're almost done. And I'm going to tuck the tip in right there. And we're going to write embrace that. This will be a little straighter. And I love the Be Fearless. Come on, it's a military page. These guys were all fearless. All of them. And I am happy with this, the way this turned out. I think I'm just going to, because I can't help myself, add a little, some Heidi Swap Color Shine. Michelle, I definitely need to order some of the mica, the gold mica. I think it was out of stock in the shop because I heard it's very similar and I definitely want to try it out. So when I'm done here, I will text you the couple things that I'd like to order. I almost dropped this. So often I get questioned on my very controlled splattering. So the trick is just going very close to the paper and just giving it a tap, and you won't go all over the place. If you want a bigger spray, oh, you have the Jen Hadfield. I heard that's very, very, very similar to it. Yeah, if you go further up, then your splatters are going to be a lot, more spread out. So I did my 3 little areas of, well, not really 3. Maybe I should move this onto this side. And I just got gold on the paper. And I really do. I am happy with the turnout. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I will add my journaling later. I want him to give me as much detail as I can so I can add it in here. And let me know if you have any questions. If you guys have any requests, you can go into the discussion and just leave me a comment, and I can definitely try to work with, I love challenges. So like this was up my alley. I love a challenge. My YouTube video that will be going live tonight, my friend T actually challenged me because I never do circles. I never cut my pictures in circles. So if you haven't subscribed, I know that Michelle, thank you. She just put up my YouTube link, and it is a beautiful layout. I think it turned out awesome. And if you want to take a look at it, just go on to my YouTube. It'll be live tonight. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I will be back on Monday, next Monday at noon, for the blue challenge. No, white challenge. White challenge. That one, I don't even know what I'm doing because I'm kind of racking my brain with that one. But we'll figure it out. I hope to see you guys. Thanks, Michelle. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye. What's up, guys?